Welcome back to Palembang, round 11 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Indonesia. Race 1 earlier on is in the books, but to get there, the teams have travelled more than 11,000 kilometres from mainland Europe to get here for this 11th round of 18. We've already seen a conclusion in MX2. MXGP is up next for their second race. Past winners in the Premier class include Yves de Maurier on a 250 Kawasaki back in 1997. But there was a bit of a hiatus, 20 years before we returned. Sean Simpson was victorious on a Yamaha at Pankal Pinang in 2017. Jeffrey Hurlings was victorious in 2018 in Pankal Pinang. And Samarang the week later, which is where we head next weekend, of course. So who will it be that adds their name onto the win list here? In terms of manufacturers, Honda have only won once, and that was Calvin Villana in an MX2 last year at Pankal Pinang. We'll see the highlights in a moment. Of course, Tim Geiser in pole position for a potential overall victory here, but it's not going to be easy. Travel and race conditions have been difficult for everybody, but you see the riders just making their way around this racetrack for their sighting lap as they prepare for MXGP Race 2. There's a quick look at the track if you're joining us for the first time. Just over 1,500 metres long. Yes, it's short, it is tight, it's compact, but it's rutted up, it's chewed up, it's hard and it's slick, as you're about to see here. MXGP Race 1, and it was Tim Geiser just with a foxhole shot right the way down in towards turn 2. It was close though between him and Siwa. Siwa did get the advantage going into the turn just here, but on the exit and the run up towards turn 3, Geiser responded immediately. Just behind him was the 99 of Anstey first of all. He got himself in the third, and just behind him his teammate Koldenhoff, and then Fevre, Pauls Jonas on the Husky. As the race went on though, Siwa latched onto the rear wheel of the championship leader Geiser, tried to find a way past the Honda rider. Anstey was in a man in a hurry as well. He was circulating in fourth until that mistake. Found his way past his standing construct KTM teammate, Koldenhoff, who was having a fantastic ride. He also found his way quickly past the 91 of Siwa as well, up to second just before the halfway mark. A bit of a bobble there from Romain Fevre. He was able to keep himself upright and going. But it was a frustrating race for the former world champion. He did eventually find his way back onto the rear wheel of Glenn Koldenhoff. He made this move around the outside as well, with about 4 laps to go to get himself into fourth. By then, though, his teammate was too far gone down the track. Arno Tonis, a solid, consistent ride to come home 6th for the Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha squad. But Tim Geiser was victorious for the 13th time in 2019. Max Anstey came home 2nd. The first time he's been 2nd since 2017, the final round in France. And Siwa was 3rd. Riders just taking as much shade as they can here ahead of MXGP Race 2. There is Max Anstey. Doesn't mind the heat. We spoke to him earlier in the first race, and he was looking forward to it, and that second place result shows. But anyway, a few moments ago, Lisa Leyland was down on the grid, caught up with Anstey's standing construct KTM teammate Glenn Koldenhoff. But before that, the Monster Energy Yamaha of Romain Fevre.
MXGP kelas sudah bersiap di sana. Apakah tim Geiser akan kembali?
Okay, we're almost ready for the final race of the day, the second MXGP race. Now, I'd like to speak to Romain Fevre. Romain, that first race, it looked very frustrating. You threw everything at Koldenhoff. It did look like you gave up, but you had to regroup, and eventually you made that pass stick.
Yeah, it was not too bad, difficult to pass. We had all the first guys, we had almost the same line, so it was difficult to pass, but yeah, I need to manage to have a good start. This is the weak points that we have. It's how it is. And yeah, I finished 4. I could almost catch my teammate as soon as I passed Koldenhoff. So yeah, I need to. I want more. So I hopefully with a good start I can manage to battle for the win.
And also, just tell us, how important is it to save that energy? I mean, it's so tough out there, just saving your energy until you really do need it.
Yeah, sure. Energy is really important. It's why, like, when I was behind Koldenhoff at the beginning, I just slow down and then try to regroup and then attack again. It's not like Europe, you cannot attack like every single lap because it's so hot out there and humid, so you cannot breathe, so you yeah, at the same time, you need to regroup and then try to find a good line and at the good moment and make it happen.
Have a great race. Thanks, Roman. Just quickly, I'd like to speak to Glenn Koldenoff. Such a strong first moto for you. I mean, you really worked Romain Febvre hard. He did manage to make that pass, but strong quali as well. So it seems like it's quite a good track for you and you're working well with these conditions.
Yeah, I felt quite good, you know. Actually, yesterday was a bit better than that first moto. I think I rode a little bit too tight, and which made me ride stiff. And in the end, finishing 5th, starting in 3rd position, so lost 2 spots. But I'm looking forward to don't do that now.
Best of luck. Thanks, Glenn. Good luck there to Glenn. It's time for our final race, MXGP Race 2.
Kita ingin dengarkan tepuk tangan dari Sophia Lajuba dan juga Omet.
Here's how the top 5 look coming into MXGP Race 2. Tim Geiser now on 466. Obviously, Tony Cairoli absent, but the gap between 1st and 3rd, Jeremy Seewer, is now 157 points after that first race. But as you can see, he's got a little bit of, he's got 6 points between himself and Arno Tonis. In turn, is still just 1 point ahead of his teammate, Gauthier Paulin. Even when you're up there in the skybox or in pit lane, you know, it's very, very hot and humid. The sun is just starting to come around and drop, but normally the sun is hottest here between sort of 10 and 1, but it's still searing. It's still 32 degrees. The air, you may as well just sit in the front of your car with a fan blowing on full chat, because that's how it feels. Tim Geiser goes to the line first, having picked up his 5th pole position of the season. Max Anstey second, the best position for him, and Glenn Koldenoff second time third for him in qualifying. Febvre, Tonis, Seewer, Paulin and Monticelli with your top 8. And just behind those guys, Jasikonis and Bogers and the rest. 1 or 2 wild cards in here this weekend, but the main guys, the main players in this championship are here, and they are getting ready to do battle, but it's going to be a tough race. MXGP Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps, coming up in just a moment. Jeremy Seewer, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP, number 91. 3rd in the first race, and actually when you look at the championship now, he's what, 51 points down. I think by the time he leaves Samarang, he'll definitely be able to find his way past Cairoli, but that gap's still just a little bit too much at the moment. Just 25 points for the race win, but Jeremy Seewer, if he can, be looking to get on the podium. Of course, 3rd in the championship. Just 1 visit to the podium this year. That was in Russia. Can he do it again after missing it the last 2 times? One guy who's definitely looking good for the top step is this one here, Tim Geiser, 243. Starting to the right of the box, left as we look down the start straight. There's Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. Saw him just waiting for the elevator to get back up to his room in the break between race 1 and race 2. He was there with Jasikonis, the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider, and they were both talking about how hot the conditions were. Max Anstey, standing construct KTM, 2nd in the first race. Fantastic ride for the Brit. And Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, he was on the verge of throwing up. He said, I don't know how these guys are doing it in terms of like that pace, that hot conditions. Left him certainly with a little bit of thinking to do, that's for sure. Romain Febvre, frustrated in race 1, but eventually did come into 4th place. Closed in on his teammate, but it was already too late at that point, so he'll be hoping to go at least 1 better, but he'll be eyeing up the victory in race 1 if he can, but depends how much he had to exert himself as a result of trying to find his way past this guy here, number 259, Glenn Koldenoff, who rounded out 5th in the end, having been caught past by his teammate, and then later on in the race, as we said, Romain Febvre. Green flag means we can hit the fly race in 15-second board for the final time this weekend. MXGP Race 2, round 11 of the FI Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Indonesia. We are at Palembang and we are getting ready to go racing for the final time. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who is it going to be that grabs that foxhole shot? Eyes on the centre of the gate. Not a good jump for Geiser this time, but he muscles his way through. But it's Seewer again on the Yamaha, but Tonis gets stood up, and his bike has gone bang. He's trying to he's trying to get that thing fired up, and that is going to be a 6th consecutive podium gone for the number 4 of Arno Tonis. Something happened in the middle of the pack there. He just got stood up in his bike. And one of the, was that Monticelli that went down there? I think it might have been, or certainly one of the, Max Anstey. So it's definitely one of the standing boys. I knew that, but Geiser leads, and he's got the two Yamahas behind him. And this time, Febvre is right behind his teammate, and they've got Paulin with them. So 3 Yamahas line astern. Bogus there is next. So we've got 3 Yams, sandwiched between 2 Hondas, HRC factory bikes. Yeah, Tonus, that bike has just, well, he's able to push that back into the pit lane area. Another rider down, Monticelli. So Monticelli over on the wave section, that looks like far side of the circuit, possibly. So 2 down. Where's Glenn Koldenoff? Well, he is in about 6th place at the moment. Here he is coming into land now on the outside of Brian Bogus. So already 1 or 2 casualties in this one. Arno Tonus with a machine malfunction at the first turn. Anstey going down in turn 3. He's picked himself up and rejoined the race. Monticelli has gone down. He's also rejoined the race. But it's Tim Geiser who leads race 2. Getting ready to hit the line, though. Siwa in second, the lead factory Yamaha rider. He's got his teammate behind him, who will be desperate to find his way past the 91 and go after this guy here, Tim Geiser, who has been absolutely scintillating. He's been sensational. And he's got himself a massive advantage at the top of the championship standings as it stands right now. Paulin is 4, Koldenoff 5, Bogus 6. The 2 Huskies of Jonas and Jessiconis are next in 7th and 8th. Lewis Stewart of Australia is in 9, Max Anstey up into 10th place, having crashed on the opening lap. Tano Leok 11, Andera Lusbo 12. Bruno Darius Verpainen is in 13th, Adam Coles 14, Van Horbik, Jordi Van Nobelen, Farmer Hendra, Aldi Lazzaroni and Ivo Monticelli. Tough conditions, it's hot, it's humid, a track that's hard, dry, slick, baked hard actually. And it's going to be a frustrating opening part of the race for Romain Febvre if he cannot find his way past his teammate Jeremy Siwa. Both those guys will be on the podium if they stay where they are, of course, but Febvre looking to go the long way around. This is where he passed Koldenoff, and Siwa makes his own mistake, and that almost allows Paulin to get in there as well. So an easy route past his teammate then that time around. His Siwa's concentration already starting to wander here, even in the early stages of MXGP Race 2. It shouldn't be, but you don't know what kind of tolls on the body and the mind Race 1 took out of these riders. The bigger 450 powerful machines, more so than the 250 4-strokes of MX2. Doesn't look like the rain is forecast or making its way over here anytime soon, even if we do get some. So hopefully a dry race here. But Tim Geiser, 1:33, fastest man on track, almost 4 seconds clear of Febvre now. Siwa is 3rd. There he is. And then 4th in the blue and grey. Gauthier Paulin, 5th, Glenn Koldenoff, 6th, Brian Bogus, 7, Jessiconis, 8, Jonas, 9. So he's found his way past PJ as AJ. Anstey now 9th, all over the back of the 2 Huskies. 10th, Lewis Stewart. Tano Leok 11, Van Horbik up to 12, Andera Lusbo 13. There's Geiser in the top corner in red. But it's Romain Febvre who is setting the timing sectors purple at the moment. Only by a 1/10 of a second in Sector 1, but massively in Sector 2. And he's closing in. That's not 3.7 seconds anymore. Tim Geiser needs to be on guard and on his mettle. See how the track is getting chewed up now. It's very technical in those deep ruts. They're drying out, they're hard, they're baked. And Febvre is a man in a hurry. He wants a race win. There is the 461 Monster Energy Yamaha. Hasn't got a race win so far this year. But he has 2 qualifying race wins, has the Frenchman. It's a tough season for him last year. And you have to go all the way back to Sweden Race 2 for his last race win. Now, if he can do that this weekend, just throw a spanner in the works just a little bit and obviously offer him up a nice little bit of a confidence boost. But Geiser, of course, will respond to the threat for the Yamaha rider. And that guy there, in fact, the Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha squad, they'll be absolutely beside themselves, because one thing they do pride themselves on is not only turning out a great bike, but they want to go race, they want to finish. Tonus getting up to 4th in the championship with the podium the last 5 Grand Prix. That will be costly for him. And more of a headache, depending on what the problem is for that bike with the number 4. That will now have to be stripped down, packed away, shipped out tonight, tomorrow morning to Semarang, which is the next race in this Flyway series. So let's hope it's something simple rather than something catastrophic, because obviously a limited amount of parts these guys can bring with them. Don't have the luxury of the race truck, the race transporter, and the support vehicles. But that gap now coming down to 1.8 seconds. Febvre was fastest last time around, 1:32.5. He's gone 1:32.6 compared to the 33.5 of Gajser, and he is chipping away at the Slovenian's lead. This one's going to come down to who can stand the heat, who can make the least amount of mistakes. We'll talk about going through that second corner on one leg, stood up on the pegs, Romain Febvre. Can't afford too many mistakes like that, though. Is the race pace going to be the same? Is there something somewhere? Maybe, I know it's a while ago now, a long time ago, in fact, but is there something in that Super Motard locker of his that he's able to use this hard, slick surfaces to his advantage? Yes or no? Just, oh, and Gajser's down. Well, there's a lucky break, and Gajser goes down. Haven't seen that really since Matterley was leading race 1, when he chucked himself up the hill for about 100 meters or so before getting back on and finishing in 3rd. Just having a quick look down at the bars as he just checks everything's all straight and lined up. But he has now been passed by Febvre and Siwa. Oh, look at that. Didn't even try to get onto the jump there, and ran off track. And Febvre, lucky to avoid him the other side of the jump there. Not all. Watch this here. Just got offline, wrong side of the markers. Great game of Kirby, but not the time for playing games. Febvre won't mind about that, though. All of a sudden, Febvre can enjoy a 7.6 second lead. Siwa, though, heads up this freight train of 5 guys, which includes Gajser, Paulin and Kodanov, and just there in the background, Jasikonis. So 6 guys then gunning for this second place. Jeremy Siwa here, number 91, currently there. Wasn't a big crash for Gajser, but he'll be kicking himself. But is it going to cost him a double moto win? Gajser would still lead, would still win the Grand Prix, 45 points, because he's only in 3rd place. Febvre would be second on 43 with a 4th and a win, so he can't pick up any more points. Siwa would be on the podium 3rd, 42 with a 3rd and a 2nd. As a little bit desperate there for Gajser as he looks to get on the gas early to try and find his way past Siwa. Anstey would be 4th overall on 34 with a 2nd and a, where is it at the moment? 9th. Jonas has found his way past Bogus, so there might be another position there for Anstey as well. Right, tiptoe your way through those long, deep ruts. The local guy, Aldi Lazzaroni. Here's Romain Febvre, your race leader, though, a 1:34.9. Gajser has found his way past, and it's 7.7 seconds. So Gajser over the line in 2nd, Siwa 3rd. Not sure where that happened out on track, but it must have been in the final sector, maybe on the run towards the finish line. But Gajser is back in 2nd, and he now has clear track. Yeah, final corner. Got better drive, kept the rear wheel down. He had the commanding line here. Siwa was always having to play second fiddle there and back out of the challenge. And here is Tim Gajser. All right, so just under 20 minutes, plus 2 to go. anything can happen. Race 1 was just 21 laps. And we've just had 5. We're now on lap 6, so there's a fair amount of way to go here, fair to say. Right, Siwa, Paulin, Koldenhoff, Jasikonis. A couple of back markers in there as well, just to really mess things up. They keep to the right. Koldenhoff's looking good here. Standing construct KTM all over the back of the Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha, the lone blue machine from that particular team. Tonus, of course, his bike expiring in the first corner, right at the start of the race. Not a normal situation, so hopefully those guys can get that figured out ahead of next week's Grand Prix in Semarang. Febvre still enjoying 7.3 seconds over Tim Geiser, who was about 6/10, where was he? About 4/10 quicker than Febvre, actually. But look at Koldenhoff here. Buries that KTM into that deep rut. They're just starting to break away from the 27 of AJ, Arminas Jasikonis of Lithuania. But Koldenhoff making Paulin think here. Championship as it stands right now, of course, Tim Geiser on 488, Cairoli, no move for him on 358. Siwa on 329, Paulin here on the number 21 machine on 320, 9 behind Siwa, but is gone 16 points clear of Arno Tonus as a result of the Swiss misfortunes. Gauthier Paulin tries to stay low. Koldenhoff takes the long way round, and it is going to be the long way round as well, but that's how he got caught and passed by Romain Febvre in race 1 when he went short and Febvre went the long way round. But middle rut, you can't even see how deep those ruts are from our camera angles, but when the bikes come in and disappear, go down and come back up again, you know at the point where they're getting on the gas, those things are already buried halfway down to the foot pegs. And Koldenhoff is proving to be a bit of a menace here to Paulin. If he can just pull it back to the right-hand side, open up the corner a bit more, maybe run it a lot tighter here in turn 1. Just can't get on the gas early enough. Siwa enjoying that these two are sort of playing a bit of cat and mouse behind him. But that's allowing Jasikonis to get back in as well in 6th place behind these two, Paulin and Koldenhoff. Waves really starting to polish up now. At least the sun has disappeared behind the clouds. Be a little bit cooler, just 32 degrees then. Still like a sauna though. Right, Paulin, Koldenhoff, Jasikonis, 4th, 5th and 6th. Siwa has disappeared. He's loving it. 16 minutes. He said, you can keep doing this for that amount of time. Let me just have a nice, easy ride towards the finish and pick up my 2nd podium of the year, 2 third-place finishes. Thank you very much. This time, Paulin does go long. And great ride that from Koldenhoff. There should have been no way through. They went over that crest together, but somehow Koldenhoff got better drive, and Jasikonis is going through as well. So the 21 getting pushed back 2 positions in 2 corners and struggling for traction just through that left-hander. So Koldenhoff then up to 4th. That'll take some points away in favour of Tonus, actually. Paulin will be on 317. Tonus now on 304. Watch this. Koldenhoff didn't see it from this angle initially, but he got good drive there. Just kept the power down, close the door, and then Paulin out of this next left-hander. Jasikonis momentum around the outside. Nothing he could do about it. 4th to 6th in, what, a couple hundred yards? Right, Seewer all of a sudden has got a little bit of close company with Koldenhoff closing in on him, and AJ has joined the fight as well. He's rolled his sleeves up. He fancies a little bit of, not sure if it's going to be Dutch cheese or Swiss chocolate, but both are being dangled right there in front of him at the moment. Here's Romain Febvre, your race leader, though, a 1:34.9. 9 laps in the books for him. Geiser's lap previously was a 1:33, but now a 1:35.1. 6.4 seconds between Romain Febvre and Tim Geiser. Geiser was leading when he made a simple error. Oh, and AJ goes and throws it down the track just before the final corner. There's a jump there. You come out of that left and you jump long, and then you're landing in ruts. I wonder if he just got cross-rutted and got pitched over the bars. But what that does now is Seewer third, Koldenhoff fourth, Paulin up to fifth, Jonas sixth, Anstey now seventh, Bogas eighth, Jasikonis down to ninth. Pre-grid interview with Romain Febvre at the start of the race, and he said the start is the key. It's the one thing they're missing. Nothing wrong with the start in race 2. And he was able to apply the pressure to Geiser when it mattered early on in the race. Capitalized as a result of the Swiss mistakes. And here he is. Oh, has to lean on the back marker there, Romain Febvre. This is where AJ crashed. A lap ago. But just over 12.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Romain Febvre, another 1:34.1, another very consistent lap. 6.9, pulls another 6/10 on Geiser here. Championship leader, Team HRC. That has got such a meaty, deep, grunty tone to it, hasn't it? That Honda. Sounds awesome. You know where it is on the track as well. When you stood trackside, looks like he's regrouped well, though, after that earlier mistake. 12 minutes plus 2 to go here. MXGP race 2. This is what happened to Geiser earlier. Just got offline, thought he'd saved it, then the back just went sliding down the edge of the jump there. Pulls a 180. Tried to hang on to it, but Febvre, right place, right time. There, even the Honda guys can't believe what happened there. As we went back to the garage, they were watching what we just saw. But Febvre, just over 11 minutes to go, just needs to hold his nerve as he goes in pursuit of his first race win in almost 2 years. $11 minutes plus 2 then. The 11th round of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Indonesia here at Palembang. Romain Febvre currently 7 seconds clear of Tim Geiser, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider leading the Team HRC Honda rider after that mistake earlier in the race from Geiser. Jeremy Seewer about 10 seconds further down, so both the factory Yamahas in first and third place, and they will finish second and third overall. So a week after, or a round after we saw the Wilbo Yamahas get on the podium in Germany with Tonus and Paulin second and third, we're going to be looking at Jeremy Seewer and Romain Febvre doing the same here. Febvre, though, will take to the second step if he stays where he is and things stay as they are. Pauls Jonas, number 41. Closing in, or being caught by Max Anstey at the moment, but looking good on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. He would have gone by his teammate Jasikonis a short while ago, but here is PJ. looking to latch onto the rear wheel of the number 99 of Standing Construct KTM of Max Anstey. I wonder if the yellow bib on the back of the shirt there is to distinguish the two riders from a distance. There's Gauthier Paulin. Here's Anstey, number 99. And here's the 41 of Jonas. Been a long, hard slog this weekend. Guys now are just going through the motions. Lap times have only dropped a couple of seconds, actually. 1:34.6. It was a 1:32 at the start of the race for our faster riders, Febvre, and our race leader, of course. But Jonas, he'll cross the line in 7th place. Here is Jeremy Seewer in 3rd. He's got about 2 seconds over Glenn Koldenoff. So the Hoff still not able to inflict himself on the Yamaha rider ahead of him. Just here, Jeremy Seewer. Haven't seen Michele Rinaldi knocking around, but there are 1 or 2 top brass from Yamaha floating around this weekend. Obviously, quite a big market for the Japanese firm this side of the world. But Romain Febvre looking good, looking very good. Back to his old self. Shame we lost him in Argentina in that second race, because maybe the championship could have had a different context, different flavour, and a completely different look to it after he broke his ankle. But he's back. He's won a qualifying race since, and here he is looking at trying to get on the podium for the 3rd time. He's on the box in France, 3rd overall, 2nd in Latvia. Looking to go 2nd again here today. Meanwhile, just 7.5 minutes plus 2 laps remain. Tim Gajset now coasting 9 seconds behind Romain Febvre. Lap times are dropping. Bigger picture on his mind is the championship at the end of the year. His closest challenger, rider down, back marker. So his closest challenger, Tony Cairoli, will stay on 3:58, and he's ahead of Jeremy Seewer. So it'll be 159 points going into Semarang in a week's time. Just picking up Seewer and Koldenoff. And the Dutch rider right back onto the rear wheel of Seewer once again. Just a quick look back for Koldenoff just to see what the gap is to him and between him and Paulin, if he's going to execute a pass, if he's got time on his side as well, if both riders go wide or if it doesn't quite work out the way that he expects it to. Febvre, Gajset already over the line, 8 seconds apart. Seewer and Koldenoff. Seewer runs wide. Koldenoff gets on the gas, but he can't because of the rhythm section at the end there. Now he's going to have to turn tight, go wide down the start straight and nip up the inside into the first corner, but just way too much speed there. Goes for the dirt instead, chases the dirt around the outside. Same here, goes slightly wider, thinks the momentum, and it does, it works. And Chipper looks on, concerned, but his rider there, Seewer, just hangs on to that 3rd place. Sleeves rolled up, gloves are off. What heat, what humidity. These two are behaving like it's the first lap in the middle of winter. Concentrations levels are high, but a little bit wobbly there for the 259 of Koldenoff. So he was close, but not close enough. Glenn Koldenoff, as he got more in the tank in the next 5 minutes, again taking another look down, see exactly what's going on there. 5 seconds between him and Gauthier Paulin on the Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha. is it only a matter of time? He showed his hand, though, here. Played his card a lap earlier, did Koldenhoff. Oh, he goes around the outside, but Siwa controlled the line. Just kept him out there. So 8.4 seconds between Febvre and Gajser. They're in a different postcode anyway. 23 seconds off the lead, and so 15 seconds further back, you got these two. Again, another mistake there, but this time Siwa again hangs on. So there's two areas where potentially Koldenhoff could find his way past Siwa. Down past pit lane, or out of the finish turn, the final turn. A mistake there, though, from Siwa. That might be it. In fact, Koldenhoff does go through. Koldenhoff now up into third place. And he's just kept his head down. Hasn't even looked back. That will take 2 points away, put him on 38. Siwa. Anstey stays on 37, fourth. Where's Anstey and Paulin? Oh, you know what? Anstey can make the podium here, you know, if he can get onto the rear wheel of Paulin and find a pass. In fact, he's right there. This is going to determine the final podium here, because Siwa will cross the line on 38, having just been passed by Koldenhoff. So the teammates, proper working as teammates as well. So at the moment, Febvre and Siwa are on the podium, second and third, but that might change in the next 3 minutes plus 2 laps if Anstey can find his way past Gauthier Paulin, pick up another point or so. Have to work it out. Yeah, it's 1 point in it. 18, 16, 15. No, he'll only pick up one more point. They'll tie. Siwa will have the better position in the race. So I think Siwa may just be safe. Gauthier Paulin. Just looks like he's happy to go through the motions. Not really brought his A game here this weekend. Max Anstey has, though. Nothing wrong with the way he's riding this weekend. Goes after the Frenchman. Number 21. Just ahead in the opposite corner, look, Koldenhoff and Siwa. Anstey will look to come to the outside here. Got a nice line there. Cuts to the outside, he'll take the AJ line around here. Is he going to find his way around the outside like AJ did? Not sure he goes wide enough. Paulin just hanging on to fifth at the moment. Right, 17 laps complete. Febvre Gajser separated by 9 seconds. Koldenhoff 14 seconds further back. Nervous look, probably the first look over the shoulder that Paulin has afforded Anstey, just to see how close the Brit is. Koldenhoff third, Siwa just about a second behind in fourth. Those two aren't done yet either. A little bit untidy there for Paulin in fifth as he comes out of that second corner, trying to fend off the 99 here of Anstey in sixth. Jonas quite a fair bit now behind these two in seventh. Boger's eighth, not even over the line yet actually. Then Leok and Jasikonis. Siwa on 38 in the Grand Prix, Anstey on 37. He will only pick up one more point. He will tie with Siwa. Siwa fourth, Anstey will be fifth in the race. And obviously the better result in race 2 determines the final outcome. 2 laps to go, because look how tight that was for Romain Febvre in terms of time on the clock. Absolute perfection, zeroed out in the final corner. So 18, it's going to be a 20-lapper. It's going to be a slower race than race 1 as well, you know, by a lap. Fastest lap in race 1, Koldenhoff, 1:32.7. 32.5, Romain Febvre will pick up the Tag Heuer fastest lap from this weekend. Still the small matter of the final podium positions to take care of, though. Gajser, Febvre, Seewer is how it stands at the moment. Gajser on 47 with a win and a second. Febvre on 43 with a fourth and a win. Seewer, third and a fourth on 38. Paulin looks like he's regrouped here, keeping Anstie at bay. But another solid performance for Max Anstie. 6th overall a week ago, his best result of the season. This weekend he's going to come away from here 4th overall at the very least. Even if he finds his way past the 21 of Paulin, he will still be 4th, losing out in a tie-break situation with Seewer. It's not going to stop him from putting everything into these final 2 laps, though. Final lap and a half. Entering the final lap, Romain Febvre. Monster Energy Yamaha in cruise mode. 7 seconds a gap between him and Gajser. There he is, exiting the final, the first turn. The championship leader. Van Horebeke getting lap there, look. In 11th place by the top 2. Climbing the bank at the end of the pit straight there. Bizarre mistake, though, from Gajser. Strange mistake. Just got offline, back end. Just slipped down the side of the jump. The track was just a little bit wider there. It wouldn't have happened. It would just roll back on and join the track, but here it was. See the skid mark all the way down the side of the bank there, look. Anyway, Febvre in cruise mode. Just looks across, knows exactly where Gajser is. Handful of corners to go. And this win is long, long overdue for Romain Febvre as well. He's won a couple of qualifying races, of course he has. Nothing last year. 2017 in Sweden is the last time Romain Febvre took a race win. Race 2 with 4 rounds to go. Well, 3 after that. And here he is, 2 years on. The slog has been real, but Romain Febvre finally shows us another heel clicker as he lights the candles here, and that is a massive weight off his shoulders, a massive relief. He's finally got that win again. And he wins by 3.2 seconds, not the whole story, but Febvre, your race winner. Gajser second, but he's the overall winner. And Glenn Koldenhoff over the line in 3rd, Seewer 4th, Paulin 5th, Anstie 6th. Means your top 3 this weekend, Gajser, Febvre and Seewer.
We are the champions! We are the champions of MXGP 2019. We have just witnessed the
Getting ready to speak to our overall winner, Tim Gajser,
who is the first winner, and shortly we will
who nails his 6th straight Grand Prix victory. I'll tell you what, it'll be a case of win 6 and chill for him tonight, won't it? And not a movie in sight.
We will do the trophy ceremony.
Here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Here, top place, second place, first place.
Tim Gajser, congratulations, 6th GP victory in a row. Mixed emotions, I know you made the mistake, but look, you got the overall anyway.
Yeah, like I had again amazing jump out of the gate, and then leading the race from beginning, but then I make a mistake, and then Roman and Jeremy passed me, but anyway I managed to pass Jeremy immediately back, and then didn't even push for Roman because he had a good pace, and I know that if I stay on 2nd place I will win the overall, so I'm really happy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, slight mistake, but doesn't even sound out of breath again, does he? Just so fit, so confident, and so relaxed even after that small error. But you can be when you've got a gap over your nearest rival, 161 points. Jeremy Seewer. But Tim Geiser picks up a race win in the second here today. And of course, 6 wins in a row, 7 for the season.
Chairman of MXGP Indonesia, Governor of South Sumatra, and Mr. Antonio
Confirmation then, MXGP of Indonesia, Palembang, MXGP Race 2, Roman Febvre, Monster Energy Yamaha, edges out Tim Geiser, Team HRC, Koldenhoff standing, Construct, KTM, fantastic for him. Jeremy Seewer 4, Paul 5, Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha, Max Anstey 6, Jonas 7 for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, Bogas 8, the A1M Husqvarna of Tano Leert was 9 ahead of Amonas Jasiconis. Van Hoorwijk 11, Honda SR Motor Blues, Monticelli 12, Lisbo 13, Lewis Stewart, and the rest, and your overall winner, Geiser, Febvre, and Seewer. Anstey just missing out by a point, but he's getting closer. 6th overall a couple of weeks ago, 4th overall here this weekend is going definitely a step in the right direction, is Max Anstey. Tonus, 5th in the championship, didn't pick up points in race 2, a malfunction as he hit turn 1. He's lost ground, 14 points to Paul Ann. Those two were tied on points coming into this weekend. And they were only 1 point behind Jeremy Seewer. Seewer now just, 9 points clear of Paul Ann. So a little bit of clear daylight there between the factory Yamaha and the satellite Yamaha of Seewer and Paul Ann. Honda leading the way in the manufacturer's chase, not by much though, 497, 468. Then Yamaha, Husqvarna and Kawasaki bringing up the rear in 5th. It's been a hot weekend here this weekend, folks. Hot and humid. It's been a real challenging set of races that the riders have had to endure. Before we see the podium, though, here's what happened in the Foxhole shots a little earlier. Tim Geiser picking up a second Foxhole shot here. Takes him to 5 now in the season. Podium time here at the MXGP of Indonesia, round 11 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. 3rd overall this weekend, Monster Energy Yamaha's Jeremy Seewer for the 2nd time this season. His first podium was in Russia 4 rounds ago if you include this one. 3rd and the 4th this weekend gets the Swiss rider back on the podium in 3rd. His teammate Roman Febvre back on the podium as well. 2nd time, he's been 2nd this year, but more importantly, that win in race 2 is 1st in almost 2 years. Tim Geiser, though, continues to dominate the World Championship. A 1st and a 2nd here today. His 6th straight victory in a row. And Team HRC, Honda, and Tim Geiser go from strength to strength here in Indonesia. Massimo, the representative there from Garrett Motor Honda, he has been around a long time. He has seen his fair share of wins and podiums and world championships as well in various different teams. And good to see him up there this weekend. Jeremy Seewer, 3rd overall here in Indonesia. His 2nd MXGP podium, 2nd of the season. Second overall, Roman Febvre, Monster Energy Yamaha. Good to see him back up there for the 3rd time this year, but more importantly, that smile will take a little bit of pressure off him, having won that race. Tim Geiser, though, your overall winner this weekend, just as he has been since Portugal, when his season started to come good again after the mudfest that was Mantova. But Team HRC thank you, Governor, for handing out the trophies there. But Tim Geiser continues to lead the championship, and by a considerable margin now as well, as we head to the MXGP of Asia in Semarang in 1 week's time. National anthem time, though, for Tim Geiser and his Slovenian fans all around the world. National anthem of Japan, winning manufacturers this weekend for Honda. Tim Geiser, Romain Febvre, Jeremy Seewer, your top three here this weekend. Round 11 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Indonesia. They'll enjoy their moment up there. Just take themselves a fizzy shower for now. Take a real one when they get back to the hotel later on. But we'll catch up with the top three, the other side of these best moments.
You can move along to the left side.
So the riders have stepped their way down from the podium. Lisa Leyland is with our winners, Tim Geiser, Romain Febvre and Jeremy Seewer.
Tim Geiser, yet another overall for you. 2 foxhole shots, you made it look easy when many others had problems. Rare mistake in that second race cost you the lead, but the bigger picture is you've extended your championship lead.
Exactly, I mean, like, I'm really happy how the day went, because after yesterday, I know that it's going to be tough to do 2 35-minute motos here because it's really hot and the humidity is high. But anyway, I managed to make good starts, and then I make a race easier with that because I was already in front, and then first moto I can just extend the lead and you know, control the race. Second one, I again take a whole shot, but then I make a mistake early in the race. I managed to pass Jeremy to come on second place, and then I saw that Roman have a good pace, and then I just settle for second place and win another oval. So I'm really happy. I want to say a huge thank you to all the team. The bike is working just amazing, and everyone around me, and also all the fans in Slovenia. Thank you very much, guys.
Congratulations. Thanks, Tim. Second overall today, we have Romain Febvre. Roman, you said you had a frustrating first race. You wanted more in that second race, and you definitely got it. Good start, good pace, and your first race win in almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's been long, too long. I knew, like many GP, I had the speed, but I could not make like start and then good race together. So I was a little bit frustrating, but it's how it is. I need to work. We did, you know, this year I worked with Jackie Vimont and we did a really good job, and I showed that. So like now I had a good start, and then I could battle on the front. I was third and then took the lead and then make a gap. And the race was much more easy than the first one. So happy to finish second on the podium, but I'm looking for the overall win for sure. Thank you.
Great weekend. Thanks, Roman. Third overall today, we have Jeremy Seewer. Jeremy, a third and a fourth. A really consistent weekend, a solid 2 races with really tough conditions. Couldn't quite hold on to that third position, but a second podium of the year.
Yeah, you know, it was a tough race, and I knew in that second moto I don't have to finish third, but still the pressure was there from a couple of other guys. But really happy how consistent I go, how good my starts are, how good I feel on the bike. You know, every track we come, it feels great, and this is, as usual, one of the toughest races of the year. You know, it's that humid and hot, so really happy with that. And now a few days at the pool, you know, and a bit of rest, and then back to action. And a big thanks, you know, to the whole crew. You know, they do a great job. And my girlfriend was here the first time, like full. You know, my parents were staying home, and it, you know, thanks for that. And I'm just really happy. And now, yeah, I need some rest. Thanks, guys.
Great job. Thanks, Jeremy. Okay.
Second podium visit of the season for Jeremy Seewer. He kind of strengthens his grip on that third place in the championship. Third in Russia, third here in Indonesia with a third and a fourth. But alluding to how hot and humid it was here this weekend. But he, like most of the guys in the paddock this weekend, will head to Bali for a little bit of respite before heading to Semarang. Great to see Romain Febvre, though, picking up a race win for the first time in almost 2 years. Yes, it got him second. He was pleased with that. But the little chink in his eye just said, I want to be on the top step for sure. Tim Gajser, though, was the man on the top step for the 7th time this year, the 6th straight win in succession. Win number 22 now for the Slovenian. His lead over Tony Cairoli, who will not be there next week, is 130 points. 161 over Jeremy Seewer. And that's what it looks like to win. And talking there with his mechanic just after the race and just after the podium and reflecting, and they're like, yep, good job, let's get changed, let's get showered. Congratulations all around from everybody. And well, these guys will disappear, of course. Just a quick look behind the scenes of the podium at this MXGP of Indonesia. Well, everybody packs up now. Of course, the riders and the teams, they also have to pack up. So too do our logistics guys. We've got another Grand Prix in Asia in a week's time. So, of course, the dismantling, the bikes will be stripped down, put in flight cases, and then shipped off to Semarang, and we will do it all again in 1 week's time. Well, that's all we have time for here this weekend. The MXGP of Indonesia comes to a close. We will see you again at the MXGP of Asia in 1 week's time at Semarang. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye for now.